Fans are singing along with Bryson Stott's walk-up music.
Everybody's standing here at Citizens Bank Park. Sanchez to the belt.
Breaking ball, hit in the air, center field.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And Christopher Sanchez, for the first time in the big leagues, has thrown a complete game shutout.
Harper looks at Arcia again as he goes around the second base.
And it's turned into the Bryce Harper game.
The game's tied. Castellanos in at third. Dusty is waving him home. Here's the relay to the plate. There'll be no throw. Phillies leading. Breaking ball blasted. Game is tied. Castellanos for the Phillies. And it's a brand new game. And the Phillies close out the National League East. They are the champions of 2024.
Alrighty, Chasers, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Quit Chasin Show. We are a little cheeky, a little irreverent, and always unqualified. We're here to sit through 162 when it's too damn hot for you two. I'm lowercase Alex Kruger. That's Danny Gerb. Danny, say hi to the folks.
And I say just go. Please, Dave, just drive. Get us as far as far can be. Get us away from tonight. Hey, Alex.
Oh,
hey,
man.
everyone. How you doing tonight, man? That.
I'm doing great. My shoulder is to the wheel a little bit right here, Dano. I don't know.
A little bit of a teaser.
Little summer tease action. I love that.
Yeah, a little summer teaser. I don't even know her.
Oh, snap. Are you wearing one of my shirts?
I'm never not going to do that joke. Yeah, I think we talked about this last summer.
We did. It actually fits you a little bit better, and I'm a little jealous, but that's okay. I love it.
Was it a Target purchase?
It is always a Target purchase.
Oh, yeah. Well, not anymore with the boycott, which is working, by the way, people.
Do you eat Chick-fil-A?
It is working. I do not.
Damn.
It's yeah.
Wow. Okay, you're legit.
One of the CEO executives is actually fired for his 9.8 million loss or whatever. It's working. The boycott is working, people.
I love that. Someday I'll join you. Maybe I'll switch to Walmart. I heard they're good with their employees. Danny, how the hell you been? How you been in the last week? What's new? How are you doing in the sweatiest week of the year? I was just lamenting that it didn't feel like summer 2 weeks ago. I'm now eating my words through my air conditioner bill.
Yeah, right. Seriously, what a shock. So I am okay. I did not eat Monday and Tuesday, not because I'm doing some weirdo like body shaming thing.
Millennial work diet, man.
No, well, that and so every now and then we'll get lunch provided to us depending on what firm I'm in and how long we're going that day. And a lot of these guys just like plowing through lunch, which I'm fine with if it doesn't mean I'm working to midnight. Then that didn't happen. And then I would get home and load my gear back in the house and walk around my house just sweating. My cat is like 2 pounds lighter because she shed everything. Poor Picky is almost naked these days.
Dude, Hermie feels it too.
Yeah.
I literally bought an air conditioner so I could move an air conditioner in her room. You love
those dirty hippies.
I tell you.
So and then I was just like, this is disgusting. So I didn't do it, but sorry, man. Happy belated.
Oh, snap. Yes. Twas me birthday yesterday.
Absolutely.
Happy belated to Kim. Twas Kim's birthday yesterday.
So we went out to dinner. That's what I was getting at. We went out to dinner to Nemi in Port Richmond. They have a duck confit for two. Highly recommend. They do a strawberry puree, which I could not say for the life of me last
Strawberry
night.
puree.
Yeah, strawberry puree margarita with a sugar rim. Best in the city. Seriously, Nemi and Port Richmond, best in the city. But that was really the first time I ate. She asked me at dinner if I wished you a happy birthday for her. And I said, yes. And she said, did you? And I doubled down and said, of course I did.
I feel like you did. But if I go through my texts, I'm no longer convinced that I will find one in which you did.
So we talked about it, but I can assure you I did not. This is not what I did, man.
That's amazing. See, though I would in that scenario, if I would be like, oh, Kara said happy birthday too,
Yeah.
Especially if you and Kara were birthday buddies. Come on, that's the easiest 1-2 punch in the world. Hey, babe, happy birthday. Hey, friend, happy birthday. Boom, done. 8:02.
I haven't talked to this guy in probably a decade and a half, 2 decades, and I hope he is doing well. But Terry O'Neill, I share a birthday with him.
Oh,
Yeah,
Terrence.
what
I
a
hope
name
he's
from
doing
a.
well too.
Yeah, I hope so. He was always a good dude. I hope he's
You know
doing. I remember he was a big Sixers fan. He was a big Tankadelphia guy.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Matty P, can you believe it that 2 O'Neills have come up in the same week? We were just talking about Brendan O'Neill the other day, Terry's younger brother.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's just so bad. He's just so bad. Yeah, Matty P.
I don't know him. I knew Terry, and that was it.
Terry's a great dude. They're all great. The entire O'Neill family is awesome.
Him, myself, and Tony Danza, all birthday buddies.
That's him, and the Philadelphia Fanatic.
Oh yes, that's right. You don't have Tony Danza to kick around anymore, even though his.
I love it.
The Fanatic's birthday is on a sliding scale of what is the closest weekend to the date.
True, I have noticed that. Wikipedia, it does fall on your date of birth, the official date. But
right.
I have noticed them being a little bit fast and loose with it over the last few years.
Absolutely.
But the nice thing about Kim and my birthday is we get presents exactly every 6 months, because 6 months from our birthday is Christmas morning. So
I know
it's kind of nice. It is the perfect. If I need summer clothes, I get it for my birthday. If I need winter clothes, I get it for winter. It's perfect.
We've talked about this before, and one of the problems, and I kind of almost, it's good and it's bad in that fact that you have exactly equidistance between the dates. However, I've had this lament in the past, right? We have talked about this where like Kim is such a great and generous and thoughtful gift giver that like you want to repay that. And I get that it's the thought that counts, and I am not that. I'm an awful gift giver. So, like, the fact that the 6 months of a little bit of stress where I feel like if it was like a Christmas and then a February birthday where like, all right, I just pound it out in 3 months and forget about it for 9, I'd be into that.
Have you considered paying attention?
Yes, that is what people say. I do that all. I make notes. I even do that thing. Ready for this? Like,
I'm listening.
In the text message, like the search, I search the word birthday and go through a year of texts even to see if there's anything there. I do all the things that they tell you to do. It's not so much the fact that she doesn't say things or I don't pay attention. It's more the fact that she is such a phenomenal gift giver.
Right. She got you the short retell. That was pretty damn good.
Yeah, right.
It was pretty damn good. Like, how do you match that? How did you match that? What can I ask? Can I ask that on air? If not, it's okay to say that's private. But what'd you get her?
Solid 3.5 inches.
Must have been a really good day.
No. And I'm sorry, ladies.
He's not, but here we are.
That's a round though, so that's good.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. No, a smattering of small, like artsy, tokens witchy, flowery. Yes, gifts.
Nice. That's nice. I mean, you know what she likes. You pay attention. Like there's like 3 categories for Kara that I always get, and then there's a couple of wild cards on top of that, just based on current events, what she's currently into, things like that. And like, I don't know. I think I've developed a decent way of getting the gifts, but you're right. Kara is a phenomenal gift giver, and it's just unfair. And she finds ways to find the most meaningful things from conversations 7 months ago. And I know that's a very common female thing, and that men, we do not have that same common thing. So, because like she'll say 7 months ago, like, hey, we should really get a new vacuum. And like, I'll think it's really romantic to get that vacuum. And next thing you know, it's a bowling ball with Homer inscribed on it. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing this week.
Oh, homie. Well, that's Kim has given me some house stuff like a Roomba or a shark.
Ooh.
Things like that. And she actually kind of gets bummed by it, but like funny does she like, but I love that stuff. Like I love that stuff. Like I
love it.
I am a tidy dude. Like that stuff is, and she kind of feels like, I guess maybe from watching all those sitcoms of people getting vacuums and being in the doghouse, but like, no, man, a vacuum, a pan, an air filter, like,
oh my god, a good frying pan or like a nice pot to cook food in, a really good set of baking pans. Holy shit, that's a great present.
Right.
A weed whacker. Oh my god,
yeah,
that I would bow down to anyone that got me a weed whacker for my birthday.
Whatever makes whoa, wow.
Whoa, hey, let's try this again.
Yeah, whatever makes cooking faster and cleaner, or a cleanup of something faster and easier, and a spaghetti dinner, and boom, we're golden.
Do you have an air fryer?
I do not.
How do you not have an air fryer as a one-person household? Sometimes two. Like, that is the perfect size implement for one person to eat a meal of anything from. And like Tay and I just made chicken tenders on our own. Like, we bought a pack of chicken, we got the panko, the bread, the flour, the eggs, etc. Just made it at home. Super nice, decent, you know.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the air fryer life.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't eat a ton of fried stuff. If I do, like, that's why I never got it, because I get it's not the oil, it's an air fryer, right? But fryer is in the title. That's kind of what kept me away from it.
I argue the vegetables out of an air fryer, like your asparaguses, your broccolis, your cauliflowers, any of those types of things out of an air fryer is absolutely sublime. Asparagus out of an air fryer is 1000% my favorite way to cook it. Somewhere Anthony Pupo's head is spinning around because I just said that, I'm sure.
I am like Chief Wiggum in the Golem episode with Fran Drescher. They're tiny pan fried. You had me at pan fried. I'm a pan fry. Like, I pan fry most. Do you remember last year when we were talking about
pan fry your hot dogs? I know.
Yes.
Yes, with a little bit of beer in it. I remember, buddy.
Yes, exactly.
See, I listen. I'm the Kim in this relationship.
Well, someone's got to be. Someone's got to be.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that is my preferred cooking method for just about anything. I'll pan fry it.
I can respect that.
All
I can. Right. Should we get into the week that was 10 minutes in?
Yeah, why not? Well, I'll step by step the hot dog thing if you want.
I'm sure we're going to get there, Danny. It's us. All righty, folks. Time for us to ease into the week that was. Starting up first, we have the New York Mets 2, the Philadelphia Phillies 10. Wheeler got 2 runs of support that Taiwan immediately handed back to the Mets in the 6th. Then the Philly bats woke up and plastered 8 more runs on them between the next 2 innings. Moment of the game was when Castian Real Muto slid into home almost simultaneously, recreating the hilarious scene from Rookie of the Year, further proving that Nick Castellanos has the athleticism of a 12-year-old anymore. Game 2, New York Mets 11, Philadelphia 4. The home run derby game. Apparently, whenever a pitcher doesn't have it, there are only 2 answers for the sports media world: injured or tipping pitches. I don't know. Maybe homeboy just didn't have it that day. Finding Nemo and Juan Sotomayor had 2 homers each, and then 3 guys not named Pete Alonso did the rest of the damage. Mick wasn't able, but maybe he just needs more time. But in the 3rd game of the series, New York Mets 1, Philadelphia 7. The Phils did almost all of the scoring in this game, which is why the ESPN graphics shows Lindor's home run trot in the 8th that minimized the score to, hold on, checking my notes, a 6-run deficit at that point. Jesus Luzardo was his Slurms McKenzie, and we got out of this with a series win. Felt good. Vibes were high. Side note, big congrats to Matty P, Uncle Mike, and Raybold for carrying my ass to a win on Sunday's golf scramble at the Pupo Scranton Bachelorette Party. Danny, any thoughts on the Mets-Phillies series where we took 2 or 3 from our division rivals?
Yeah, so there was a couple things that I liked about it. One, of course, after I say they don't play fun baseball, they have one of the funnest baseball games, if not the most fun moments so far in the season, right?
Of all of baseball. That might be the most fun moment in all of baseball this year, especially because it was in the Thunder Guns jerseys, and I will die on that train track. The fact that it's in the Thunder Guns jerseys, it looks so much freaking cooler.
It does look good in the Thunder Guns jerseys. It was picked up by everyone.
Everybody has it. How could you not?
What did you go with? A League of Their Own? What movie
Henry
did you
Rowengartner,
say?
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, so there was the Rookie of the Year ones going around and the Major League ones going around.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
But I think you made the right call.
Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think you made the right
because
call.
Again, Castellanos and the athleticism of 12-year-old kid, that tracks these days, man. It does. He and Liam are about even. Oh, no.
Whoa.
I'm going to die on this hill that Cassie ain't got it because every time that we call him out, he produces like a mother and he has an FU game.
Sure.
So, Cassie, you have the athleticism of a 12-year-old. Prove me wrong. And here's the best chance because coming up next, we've got the Houston Astros.
Hold on, I'm not done. There's one more point that I wanted to make about that series. So, and I think the radio and all the other pundit jabronis have said this as well. Kind of, they said it a little differently. Where like they're gonna say it's 162, but like they played a little differently, and that's true. But this is the first time, like, do you remember after the 23 NLCS collapse in the first series against the Diamondbacks, and we were all like left-handed to them, and they didn't show up,
and they trounced us. They dismantled us the same way they did in the playoffs.
And like, there's a lot of those like June, July series that the fan base gets up for that the guys just don't get up for. So it was actually really refreshing to see them get up for a series that the fan base was actually up for too. So
that's the Mets series, of course.
Yes, I did take note of that, and I found that to be fun and refreshing.
It did feel good, and it felt like a good midseason rivalry week game. That's right, MLB. Pittsburgh's not our rival. I know, it's crazy, but it
was on rivalry weekend.
I know, it's the craziest damn thing, isn't it? But it was nice to. I know there were some
goofy matchups. I almost thought about bringing that up to you when they were doing that. Like, look at some of these matchups.
Who didn't though? Who didn't though at that point? But like, just because you're in the same state does not mean that you're a rivalry. Like Mets Yankees, I'll allow it, but we all know it's Yankees suck. So.
But then I also think it was like one I thought was interesting was like Reds Boston. Like,
yeah, what the hell? Who gives a shit about that?
Yeah, like that was. There was some weird Atlanta and whatever the old Milwaukee.
Yeah, unnecessary, completely random.
Well, I guess they shared Milwaukee the Braves names, or there was that history of the Braves. But other than that, like I don't think anyone in either of those four fan bases. You say either if it's four, any of those four fan bases would agree that is a rivalry.
No, so, I concur. So
now that
I'm glad we did talk about it 3 weeks.
This is old news.
Old news. New to us because we haven't talked about it.
That's all right.
Shall we move on to the next series?
Yeah.
I'll allow it. So next up, we have the Houston Astros, which, if you'll remember, in 2022, they bent us over and called us daddy, starting with Framber Valdez, who notoriously was one of 714 pitchers that contributed to a no-hitter. Whatever, who gives a shit? Contributed to a no-hitter against us in the World Series. So
no, contactless shutout.
I said one of 714 pitchers to contribute to a no-hitter. I feel like that got your point across just fine. Thank you. First game up, Philadelphia, nothing. Houston, 1. Philly left their offense on the East Coast, it seems. There isn't much to say about this game. Ranger left up one mistake, and we lost it. This offense is probably going to have Danny highly heated up. And if that wasn't bad enough, game 2, Philadelphia, nothing. Houston, 2. All right, we're up to 18 scoreless innings. The Phillies continue the tradition of shitting the bed on my birthday. This was annoying and irritating to watch. Wheeler did his thing other than one run allowed, which, you know what? That reminds me, screw the game recap. I've come around on Trey Turner, okay? That's a well-known fact. I give the guy his flowers and his due constantly. Having said that, to all of the Chris's and Steves of the world, stop telling me Trey is a solid enough defensive shortstop. He had a dumbass error that cost Wheeler a run, and it wasn't listed as an error. So every time you want to bring up his fielding percentage or something stupid like that, I'm sorry. It's the eye test for me. He is still a shortstop bum. And given the MLB is too obsessed with hits being back up to have the balls to call an error when an error should be. Just like when Casty, just because he doesn't have errors doesn't mean he's an adequate fielder. Like, I'm done watching the Casty crap, and I'm done with people telling me he's a good shortstop. He's not. He's serviceable at best. At best, he is serviceable. He is a really good bat when he's on, but in the field, he is a liability.
Absolutely was an error. It should have been counted as an error.
Yes, it should have. That pisses me off.
Second game that was, you can't say they play 9 innings of baseball. You can't say it was directly in his hands, but it was directly in his hands. Interesting thing. Here's some numbers. We never do this, right?
We don't, but let's do it because when it's important, it's important. Let's do it.
Houston Astros, 5 runs off of 17 hits. Man, our pitchers did their job. They did their job.
So there is something to be said about the fact that neither team really scored, and that's actually part of.
That's not a game. That was the series. That was the series.
No, I know. 17 hits.
Did we not do the
series?
Did we not get to the whole?
We have one more game, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, I'll hold off.
Good man.
Everyone forget what I said.
We're going to get to it in a moment. That was a teaser. Philadelphia 2, Houston 1. Marsh got our first run in 3 days, and Trey's glove cost us our first win in 3 days. Let me ask you this, Dano. At this point, did you want to go completely 3 straight games without scoring instead of 3 losses and 1 run to show for it? Were you at all given hope by the fact that Houston didn't play offense either? Does this mean absolutely nothing? The season is medium well done now, and I can't tell what the hell this slides to meat is. What are your thoughts after everything you just saw? Now let's have the series conversation.
Okay, I think this is the worry that we always have. I think when we start yelling and getting butthurt about the team in an early season and make boner takes and, you know, talk as if they are not a top 5 to 6 team in the league and aren't going to be in the postseason. When we have those talking points, it's because of series like this, and it's because of offensive production like this. It's the dreadful against lefty thing. It's the when they get on the road against good pitching, they can't hit it, and like, yes, that's an issue. And then all that whole Dombro talk, all that Topper talk of, hey, that guy's a good pitcher over on the other side. Let me let you in on something. In the post, they're all good pitchers. So let's get rid of that. So Houston, the Phillies rotation is phenomenal.
Sublime right now. I mean, Aaron Nola is a disservice at this point to add him back into the rotation.
I would agree completely. I worry about Aaron Nola because I have said it to you in a text. Like, we're going to get to the postseason no matter what's going on. There's going to be a prominent game 2 start or game 3 start somewhere that probably should be a Luzardo or Sanchez going on somewhere. And it's going to go to Nola because it's Nola, and he's going to serve up meatballs, and he's going to cost us that game. And I'm not looking forward to that day, but it's probably going to happen. I'm going to hate it.
But there's a reason why I called Jesus Luzardo's performance a Slurms McKenzie performance, because he's feeling eerily similar to Enola, man. 3 shutdowns, 1 blow up, 2 shutdowns, 2 blow ups, 3 shutdowns, 1 blow up. Like he is following that pattern. So at this point, it is 6 1/2 dozen to the other between those two, I think.
So it was that tipping pitches thing, and if you believe anything about the Jack Fritz stuff on the After Dark shows,
I believe everything about Jack Fritz.
Yeah, so do I.
All right.
Like, hey, was shaking up being back in Miami? And maybe, who knows? But also, if you're reading,
that's a great point
with Caleb Cotham, he is starting to figure out what he is doing in his lead up on the days that he's shutting them down and the days that he has his blow ups, and he is starting to make those changes. So I think Cotham is doing well for him. But Wheeler, Ranger, and Sanchez all need to find Paul Skeens, give him a call, and ask how he deals with it, because they were just
run support.
Yeah, absolutely. They were phenomenal in this Houston series. For the series, Houston Astros, 5 runs off of 17 hits.
That's insane. First off, that's 5 hits a game average, roughly. And then how many runs did you say? 5 runs. So
5 runs,
1.33 hits, like runs a game. And damn, that's an insane ERA.
In contrast to the Philadelphia Phillies, 1 run, 15 hits.
Jesus God. And the thing that, did you watch today's game? Did you get to?
I listened to today's game.
Okay. I got to watch more than I wanted to. And here's the thing, buddy. The chase was on real hardcore. Kyle Schwarber swung at a ball that was at least 2 feet above the strike zone after the ump completely missed the call. Can we talk about the fact that I feel like the umpires have been either really all over the place or really, I don't know. Either Houston's pitchers have been super freaking exact, the way that they have hit the corners and hit the strike zone, and have just been nibbling in the way that Philadelphia has been missing the strike zone. I mean, you look at the pitch tracks this week, and it was fascinating, but like Houston's pitchers were painting corners. So the strike lookings, I'm not even that mad at, because they were 50-50 balls at best.
Listen, and I ripped on Topper about, there's a good guy thrown over there. And listen,
they had some damn arms over there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rookie, and we all know what we do.
If the guy is painting them and getting calls, great, awesome. So I didn't watch the game, but Fransky, he did not say the chase was up. He did, however, say quite a few times they're just guessing up there. So
I mean, Bohm, I think I can't tell if the bases were loaded or 2 on. I think they were loaded, but he swung at a pitch that was just so outside the strikes, and he knew it. And that's the thing that frustrated me the most watching it. Every time they struck out, like they swung out of the strike zone, they knew it every effing time, and yet they kept on doing. They are bewildered in the box right now, and that is so frustrating to watch for the. I could say for the amount of money, but honestly, without Bryce there, that's minus 300 million. So there's that. But like, it is just it's frustrating. Kyle is not feeling it right now. He's slumping pretty hard. Cassie's gonna Cassie, and I love him for that. And honestly, Trey is gonna Trey, and I appreciate that. Like,
so Kyle's gonna slump until Harper comes back, right?
I would have to imagine,
because you're not going to pitch to someone. So now that someone is Kyle. Like he's seeing less pitches, right?
But he's swinging at more that he shouldn't than he normally
maybe.
does.
I mean, he's got to manufacture something, right?
He's got to find some way. Yes, he's the only one with thump right now. Although at the same time, man, I go through this Phillies roster and I look at how many guys are like inching at 10. I'm like, Alec Bohm, you have 9 home runs. Are you serious? How did that happen? Like Bryson Stott, you have whatever number you have. Like, oh, that's more impressive than I anticipated. So it's the weirdest amount of like mini thump.
Yeah, I mean, 9 home runs at the halfway point of the season for a guy that should probably have 25.
Should and would is cool, but like who he really is, he is a 20 home run a year guy. So if he gets to 10 before the All-Star break, so be it.
He's taller than Bigfoot and playing your hot corner. You need more pop from him.
Yeah, and then also, have you like looked at him? The guy is like he's missing a couple of beats. It's okay. He thump ball hard.
Oh,
it's a good man. So medium point of the season. Do we know anything about this Phillies team? No, we don't. Right? Like it all depends on who shows up on any given day.
We do.
We know every version of them.
We know everything we need to know. It's nothing has changed, man. We still need to find. No, nothing has changed. In that,
I agree.
We still need to find that proper one. We need the proper middle of the order bat.
We need like 6 things to be a contender. So I don't know why we keep talking about being contenders right now. We're not. We're just not, man. Buddy Kennedy's on the field at the same time as what?
What was that thing
I don't know.
I sent you what the lineup in the text message, which should be 1 through 9, but our lineup is more like what 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 7, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9. That's the problem.
Yes, it is. It is. We've got a lot of misplaced guys, and it's tough. It's a tough, cruel summer to get through.
We got a lot of 7s and 8s trying to be 3s, 4s, and 5s. That's all I'm saying.
And none of them are landing.
That's the problem.
And sometimes, Danny, go ahead.
I don't care about the lineup being loaded with 7s and 8s. If you have that a true middle of the order guy, which we don't, and this lineup can be fixed very easily. A return of Harper in the Harper form or whatever version of that is. By the way, we didn't do it last weekend. Paper Harper, glass Harper, or whatever. Bryce Paper, glass Harper. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, we got it.
Killed a bit. Wow. Way to just like throw it on the train tracks and let the train run over it.
Well, we weren't. We ended up not doing it anyways.
That's true. I'm sure it would have come up in a year anyways.
Exactly. Old news. So why not?
We'll bring it back up. Don't you worry. That's a classic Quit Chasing tease.
Yeah, right. So that really is my fix is a proper one, a proper 4 or 5, and this lineup doesn't look as dreadful as it is. But in the Phillies' defense, I mean, they got the offense looked bleak in Houston, but that was an offense of Kennedys and Rojas's and
Sosa,
whatever else. Like they were unserious lineups against.
They were unserious lineups.
They were unserious lineups against a serious Astros team after you just clawed your way back to the top of the NL East.
Could you argue?
I could
that
argue
after
anything.
Winning? Damn right you could. That after the Mets series, it's okay to take a pass. Just like, all right, screw it. Let's go to Houston and just not give a shit for 3 games, and then we'll come back. I don't know.
I mean, the lineup looked like that's what they said. No,
I mean, there is that. Dan, you want to have some fun?
Yeah.
All right, folks, let's bring back game time for a hot second. Picky,
Game time.
tell us what we're playing. That's right. Dano, let's have some fun. It's been over 90 degrees for a week, and it finally feels like summer. So I want to know, Danny, what's your top 5 summer songs? And because we never do this ahead of time, you and I are going to alternate starting from 5 and going to 1, and you're going to go first, okay?
But Boo Hoppa?
Boo Hoppa indeed. So, Danny, number 5, summer song.
Number 5 for me, and it is in honor of just, the festivities of life right now. I'm going to go with Outkast, Bombs Over Baghdad.
Ooh, Bombs Over Baghdad.
Yeah, right? It's nice.
Oh, man. Great album.
Sandy area, reminds you of the beach,
I like it.
conflicts in the Middle East, everything that we can get behind in the summer of 2025.
It reminds me of One Arm Scissor, and I don't know why, but it does, and I love that, and I appreciate that.
Do you know what? I without listening to it and all that, like the BPM of Bombs Over Baghdad and One Arm Scissor, it may be remixable.
We should look into this because that could actually be a really freaking good combo. Okay.
Do you know what?
That could be really good.
Speaking of remixes, and I do this all the time when I hear it.
It's that Anna Kendrick, man. You watch Pitch Perfect and it made you think about mashups and you've never been able to look away.
Oh, absolutely.
You're bulletproof.
Yeah, I am. All right. I lost it, so it doesn't matter. You're next.
You sure did. All right. Number 5 for me. Because I played Danny Zuko in college, it has to be Summer Nights. Summer love had me a blast. Oh, yeah.
You actually enjoy that song? Like you listen to it?
Again, I played Danny Zuko in college. So, yeah, man, I absolutely have phenomenal fond memories attached to that song from the most formidable years of my life. So I am probably an exception because of the close personal tie to the song, but I love that song. I can still shoot a bop bop.
I didn't ask that. I asked that you take time, go through your catalog, search that song, and put it on.
Absolutely, yes. I also have 2 daughters that are into show tunes, and that is a great song for them to listen to.
You're a crazy person.
I'm not. That's a great little bop. That's fantastic male-female vocals. It's not quite Ebony and Ivory, but it's not far off.
You're a crazy person.
I know I am. What's your number 4, Dano?
Shoulder to Wheel by Saves the Day. There was nothing better than hitting the Atlantic City Expressway on the way to the shore and just opening it up with a little shoulder to Wheel by Saves the Day.
So the not Stay What You Are, damn it. Through Being Cool is one of those seminal high school albums that when I put it on, I felt seen, and I didn't realize how upper middle class and white my pain was at that time. But Say Anything and Saves the Day and Jimmy World did, and they put it on records. And Shoulder to the Wheel is a phenomenal song. Did you see I took the mic off the stand for this conversation now?
I did, and now I feel like I want to hold a mic too.
It's a frontman thing.
It is. Just like this. This is a very visual gag for the listeners.
Really is.
We're holding them like they're snow cones or giant robot penises.
Yes. I'm doing the Brandon Boyd with the cord around the hand, but that's just because I've always emulated.
Very nice. So here's the thing. Speaking about what did you say? Angry middle class and white.
Angry middle class and white. Yes.
Yeah. Did you see Kevin Kincaid's top 50 hot takes?
From last year or this year?
This year. It was,
oh, God, there's a new one?
He dropped it yesterday, yeah.
Oh, my God, how magorific is that?
It's pretty magorific. Also,
it's pretty magtastic.
He could have just titled, the article, What Angry Middle Class and White. It was
fantastic.
Dreadful.
Fantastic. Just God, he used to have such credibility. And then he had sex with his lawnmower one too many times. And from there, things just went awry. Poor guy.
I know. I wish I could live off of 476 somewhere and say I live in Philly too.
When Anthony's, kind of carrying your team, it's a whole lot easier. Now he's got to sell all of his ad space for BetMGM. All right, Danny, what's your number? You said your number 4 song, Shoulder to the Wheel. My number 4 song, they had to find onto this list somehow, folks. Cage the Elephant, Black Madonna. The reason why is because about 3 years ago, coming out of COVID, Kara and I got VIP tickets to go see them on Riverfront. As you know, that venue on Riverfront in Harrisburg, right in front of the train tracks, in front of UPMC. It's the coolest venue in the freaking world. It was right after a hurricane, but we were still able to go in, and they played that song, and just like the smoke in the air, the vibe and the everything. It was really awesome, and it was a perfect summer night. So Black Madonna by Cage the Elephant.
I have no idea what that is. Of course, it's Cage the Elephant. I've just been singing Lady Madonna in my head because why not?
You know what? Go for it, because that's probably better than anything I can present to you for Black Madonna. So what is your number 3?
I'm gonna. This is a new one. It has creeped up on me. I think it is going to be the song of 2025, or maybe it's just because it's Pride Month right now. But it is everywhere, and I'm enjoying it. And it's Pink Pony Club.
I love that for you. I don't get it, but I love that for you.
It's a banger, dude.
I want to. You know what? You and I have talked about this, and you are a big fan of pop.
Yeah,
I have tried to listen. Yeah, apparently, dude, I thought I was a big fan of pop. I really, really, really did. And then I tried to listen to modern pop, and I was like, "Well, this is drivel." I hate
modern
this.
pop is good. Pop is good.
I don't like it, man. Sabrina Carpenter, I don't care for.
Better pop.
Like what happened to Lana Del Rey? Like that's my pop. That's the pop I want to get down with. Give me that summertime cover.
Yeah, Summertime Sadness.
How dare you? That was an ethereal summertime. Thank you.
Oh, I thought they were talking about the Lana Del Rey song, the Summertime Sadness.
You're right. That was a good song. That was a banger.
It was. Did not make my list, but
obviously, you know what? Neither did Sublime Summertime, which is now I realize a massive mistake on my part. But what are you gonna do?
I wanted it to be on my list. The problem is, it is just unbelievably played out.
Well, that's the thing. Most of Sublime, especially that album, was completely murdered by the Central Dolphin Kids and like just all the weird little hipsters before there were before there were hipsters back in Central Pennsylvania. So yeah, no, I hear you. That was a good number 3 though. I liked it.
Yes.
All right, my number 3. All right, Poopa, this one's for you, buddy. Crazy Game of Poker, OAR, but it has to be the Anytime Now edition, okay? We rented pontoon boats for Poopa's bachelor party this weekend, and at one point there was a lull in the music, and Anthony was like, hey, what do you want to listen to? And I thought to myself, okay, I've got 30 seconds to come up with something that is almost country, but that I don't mind listening to.
I was going to say, you gave the Poopos the aux cord? That's brave.
It's Matt's bachelor party. How would I not? I was there to be the
still brave.
Call it a day. No. Matt's got great taste. Matt has fantastic taste in music, and I will fight that to the death like a gladiator in ancient Rome.
Fair. Sure.
Anthony, no comment. But he asked for the version. I said, give me Crazy Game of Poker OAR. He put on the wrong version, even though I specifically said Anytime Now edition. It's fine. It was still a great song, but that song takes me straight back to 2002, and just it is pure vibes, pure summer. Love it. What's your number? Go ahead.
What? No. I want to go on this Crazy Game of Poker rant for a second. Not rant. Halfway for a second. Yeah. What is the Anytime Now version?
So the Anytime Now is the 2-disc live set that came out right as they became popular with all of us. It was the Black Album with the like green, yellow.
34th and 8th?
No. Anytime Now. You know what? I'm going to pull it up on the screen and then share my screen so that you can see it, because that's how impassioned I am about the importance of this album. All right.
Yeah. Keep on going.
So the Anytime Now album from OAR was, again, it was a 2-disc set. Nope, not that one, buddy. Not that one. Not that one. So, all right, I am going to share my screen super quick.
Because that 34th and 8th version is my favorite version.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's fascinating. Okay.
It's like 28 minutes long. And I'm not
good.
I'm not one of those jam boners either, but
no, you're not. You never have been. You never will be. And I appreciate this one.
Oh, okay.
That is a phenomenal album. The Black
Album.
That's
a live album?
Dude, how did you not know that's a live album? Of
course, it's a live album.
Oh. Yeah, man, that's a live album. So yeah, that's my. What's your number 2?
I don't have any OAR, but about an hour ago would probably be my OAR.
Hey Girl was almost my OAR choice. And Night Shift, when I was working overnight at Hanold Sunoco, Route 22, Jonestown Road. What up? Night Shift was my freaking jam. That and Clerks spoke to my life.
So he's made a lyric change. Have you heard it any recently? He made a lyric change in about an hour ago now, while they play it live now, where he says, playing drinking games, but they were all too young to talk to.
Oh, interesting.
Which I give him
that's
credit.
an interesting
I give
lyric
him credit.
change.
I
Good
give
job,
him credit
buddy.
for that. Yeah, exactly.
Good job, Mark. You're too loud.
Yeah. He seems like someone who would respect a lady.
I agree. Can I tell you, by the way, the Matt asked me this past weekend. He said, "Hey, did we see OAR at?" And I was like, "Yo, at the pier in Philly with Danny Gerb." And he's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yes, that absolutely happened. That was a great game." That was the day I learned that Danny Gerb has endless amounts of, as the kids say, riz.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't so much anymore, but
no, you do. Look at that face. Look at you. You are endless bouts of riz and anxiety and just palpable angst. I love it. What's your number 2?
That's right. I said, how about a revolution? Number 2, that's where we are. Oh, LATER that week. Len, Steal My Sunshine.
Oh my God, that is an amazing song. That song lived on for at least 3 straight summers. Steal My Sunshine. Wow, that's a great pick, man.
It's one of the opening tracks in my summer playlist, and so the opening track is actually MGMT's Electric Feel.
Kids? Oh, okay. That's a really good one too. That's a really good one too.
And then it goes to Len, Steal My Sunshine. And those two together just get me like, yeah, all right, let's catch some waves today.
I got to clap on that. That's a fantastic pick. That is a fantastic pick. Len, Feel My Sun. Oh, that would have been only better if it had the Macarena, which I can't believe I didn't think to put that in. That's such a summer song for me. I think of Senators games and playing it and yada, yada. Anyways, my number 2, coming in from SoCal, Slightly Stupid with 2 a.m. One of my all-time favorites. So here's the thing. I love Long Beach dub music. I love reggae and that whole Sublime, Expendables, Revolution, Slightly Stupid sound. I adore that as a Northeastern Central Pennsylvania kid, of course. But it always brings me that summer vibe, and nothing brings me summer vibe quite like Slightly Stupid's 2 a.m. And if you don't know what that song is, I'll give you a couple of bars if you'd like.
Wait, hold on. It's 2 a.m. and I want to go to bed.
That's OAR.
I got
OAR.
a lady.
That's a Night Shift, I think. That's OAR. This is oh shit. Now the only thing I can think of is the OAR song. Hold on.
I got a lady running through my head.
2 a.m. police knocking on my door. What for? And and I don't know the words about.
Oh, that didn't help at all then.
But yeah, no, it's a super good song. I think if you haven't heard Slightly Stupid's 2 a.m., you should check it out. It is a great summer vibe.
I know Slightly Stupid Stormtrooper. That is the only Slightly Stupid I know.
Buddy, I could introduce you to a lot of.
I saw them open up with 311. I was unimpressed.
Everyone's allowed to have an off show. Haven't you ever had an off show? Okay.
Never.
Fuck off. Yes, you have. You've had an off show.
You've done a show with me for a season and a half now. Have you not seen I am red light ready all the time? You are
red light ready. That's true. All right, fair enough. I'll allow it. Danny. That brings us to number 1. I'm super excited to see what your number 1 song is.
This makes absolutely no sense because if you watch the video for this song, it is drab in the winter. It's in black and white. The song itself, I think, might be a little melancholy, even though the title suggests that it is bright and sunny. But for me, this is a nostalgia piece. This song came out when I was in grade school. I was still hitting the dolphin pool every day. I forget her name. I think it was Jen or something like that. She was a older teenager lifeguard. She was working the concession stand. I just had the biggest thing for her. And
that same character existed in The Sandlot, so don't feel bad.
Well, yeah, exactly. No, this was my Wendy Peppercorn.
This was your Wendy Peppercorn. I love that.
My Wendy Peppercorn. And I just remember they would do 30 minutes on the chair and then 30 minutes in the concession stand. And I'd always wait to go to the concession stand when she was in there. And it just so happened that this song came out this summer and it just seemed to always be playing at the pool. And it's Collective Soul Shine.
Oh, shit. That is that's a 1997 earworm that will never be gone from you. That's maybe 1993. I don't know, but Collective Soul Shine.
I hear that song. I smell dolphin. I feel the chlorine on my skin. I remember Jen or whatever her name was, Wendy Peppercorn. I remember getting on my bike and racing back home to watch Salute Your Shorts and Hey Dude in time. All while jamming out the Collective Soul Shine. And that was summer, baby.
You know what, Danny? I'm so happy you brought up Salute Your Shorts and Hey Dude, because Taylor is currently in the living room right now watching Legends of the Hidden Temple on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite of all the Nick games and sports over time? You know, you got your Legend of the Hidden Temple, you got Guts, Global Guts, you got Double Dare, you got Family Double Dare 2000, you've got Figure It Out. Like what do you gravitate towards in the Nick games and sports arena?
So Global Guts was a crappy offshoot of Guts, and
it sure was.
I wanted a piece of that crag, baby.
Sure did. Did I ever tell you that when Nickelodeon Games and Sports was traveling, and I was probably like, I don't know, 9, 10, 11 years old, something like that. But they came to Hershey, and I got selected to do the Legends of the Hidden Temple game.
Okay.
And we lost, but it was the craziest, coolest experience of my life. I was in the like thing. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a wooden box that's straight up, and there's padding in the bottom, and you have to grab puzzle pieces.
Coffin.
And then
Not
really. It was like a think of like a well, like the shaft. The shaft of the well. I was thrown into the shaft, and
they were grooming you for a future of capitalism and coffins.
I was already in Catholic school, Danny. So I was in the shaft, and I had to get the puzzle pieces and lift them up and throw them over to my teammates. The other side was faster. But anyways, yeah. So Nick Games and Sports, what was your favorite?
Guts.
Guts.
I wanted a piece of the crag. I wanted a piece of the crag.
You did.
I needed a piece of the crag.
We all did. Mine was obviously Legends of the Hidden Temple because of nostalgia. But all right, that brings me to my number one.
So I always thought Legends of the Hidden Temple was the nerdier version. I didn't think I was smart enough for that.
Oh, see, I adored the trivia. I enjoyed feeling like I was learning something while watching kids compete. I felt like Global Guts was just like a whole lot of Mike O'Malley say, "Do you have it?"
Oh, that's funny. I thought I just wanted to get into that wave pool and hear Mo talk about how phenomenal I was, just like a fish in water.
Did you have a massive crush on Mo?
I did not have a massive crush on
Really?
Mo.
Good
No.
for you.
Dino, though, on Salute Your Shorts. The bratty rich kid.
Yep.
But yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah. And then, but I'm really actually more now who I am. It probably should have been the crunchy hippie, whatever her name was, Zoe or something.
From Pete and Pete?
No, from Salute Your Shorts.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, the Pete and Pete was a trip and a half. All right. That brings me.
I love that song. That song's on my summer playlist too.
The Pete and Pete song?
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Anything with Iggy. All right. My number one song, Childish Gambino, Feels Like Summer. It's literally a song that says feels like summer. I feel like that's self-explanatory.
You took this very literal.
I did, Danny. I did in a lot of ways. There were some I took as memories and some that I felt. But again, I thought to myself, when I step outside and I want to play music that feels like summer, what are the top 5 songs I'm going to pick first? And these are those songs.
Fair enough.
Depending on the version of summer I have in front of me.
Fair enough.
I love it. We did it, Danny.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
You're done though, because you did all 5.
Yeah, no, kind of. So
you got some honorable mentions?
No, not really. It's more of a. I see that we have, because I looked at the agenda this week, Alex. I'm not going to get blasted.
First time for everything.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to get blasted this week for not doing it. And I saw that we do have a under review, fair or foul, whatever we're calling it, coming up in the show. Teaser. But I want to do one right now too.
Please. Oh, fantastic. Secret agenda item.
Let's do 2. This is not a fair or foul. It's an under review. It's a what's the call. Don Henley, or if you want to do the Atari's version of Boys of Summer.
That almost made my list. The Atari version of Boys of Summer. That almost made my list.
All right. Well, I wish it would have, because I would have had this conversation a little more naturally then instead of manufacturing this thing.
Sure.
But this is what we're doing. it gets heavier commercial airplay this time of year.
Yep.
At the beginning of summer, spring, beginning of summer, Don Henley or the Atari's version, more so the Atari's version.
Yes, because it's better.
We'll get there.
Better.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
I hope so.
My argument about that song is it's an end of the summer song. It is not a beginning.
It's a beginning of fall song. It really is a end of August, early September song. I agree with you, but it does slap in June. It does slap in June.
No, it's an end of summer song. It is definitely like you're sneaking those last couple beach days in at the end of September where the sky is a little cooler, the sun is setting earlier, the streets are a little more emptier. No, nobody's at the beach, nobody's at the lakes, man. The boys of summer are gone. It is an end of summer song.
So when is the earliest this song should be played in your opinion?
September.
Damn, that is late as hell.
That's when it is, man.
So to some folks, mid-August is the end of summer. It's
I know,
close to the end of summer because of school. Okay, the end of summer for me with two children. What?
Almost dropped the hard R there.
How dare you? No, with two children that are in school, for me, man, like mid-August is when I start wrapping up summer. Like that is when the boys of summer have come.
They're gone. They didn't come.
Oh, they're gone? I've never been good with lyrics, Danny.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, and I get that, and I think that's Fugazi.
Fugazi.
I know what I said.
I know what you said. And I know.
Also, I do think Don Henley's version, there's a Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac, is making way more of the point that he was trying to make when the Ataris took the artistic liberty of changing the Black Flag sticker on a Cadillac. That's all I'm saying.
I think one could make the argument that for who Don Henley is and the audience Don Henley was making this song for, Deadhead sticker on a Cadillac made a lot of sense. I think for the Ataris and who the Ataris were making the song for, a Black Flag sticker on a Cadillac made a lot of sense. I think for who they are, I think it was an apropos replacement. I had no problem with it. Of course you did, but I had no issue with it whatsoever.
What the hell does that mean? Of course I did.
Of course you did. You I don't know what the word is.
All right. That was fun. Want to go to ad break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Daddy, what's your credit card number?
Why?
I need to order some Quit Chasin merchandise.
What? Wait, how did you get on our Fourth Wall merchandise site?
I clicked the link in this episode description.
Oh, Taylor, you're so smart.
Oh, Daddy, you really shouldn't use children for your commercials. It feels inappropriate.
But, Tay, how else will I tell people about our After Dark episodes or send them to any of our social media handles?
Can't I go play Minecraft?
Of course, but feel free to watch any of our old or current shows on our YouTube channel.
This is getting sad, dude.
Hey, if you have a complaint, feel free to send it to the show at quitchasinpodcast@gmail.com.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alex, Dick Trickle, whatever your name is, it does not matter. You want to talk about my corruption? I speak for the people. You are a lowly co-host on a mediocre Phillies talk show. I have done wonders for this city, for this town, for this show. It is why I am in my 12th term as governor. No one can stop me. Not even you. Now, as I go over my notes, there's a bit of a problem, Alex. We don't have a date. How do you expect me to defeat you on our second annual 999 challenge? Without a date? So as I sit here in my gubernatorial office, I send out an executive order to you. Stop worrying about my corruption, because I speak for the will of the people, for Chase Nation. Give us a date, Alex. Give us a date.
I see your challenge, Governor.
Whoa.
I see your challenge. And mark my words, the next time an episode is broadcast, we will have that date for you. Expect it in late July to early August, because that is about the time when my calendar clears up. But we will have that date.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. We've teased it. We've teased it a lot. And at this point, we're going to make things blue. So we do need to give the folks something to look towards and to look forward. And I think you're going to like the way you look. All right. Like Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look.
All right.
Danny, we killed it. And then I resurrected it because, like Lazarus, Jesus Lazarusardo, I knew it had to come back. So amped up this week, I want to talk about a different sport. That is the National Basketball Association of America, NBAA. Tyrese Halliburton was injured in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And like
Dick Cheney must be very upset.
Super upset. In the first 5 minutes, my man's blew his Achilles tendon. And the thing that sucks about that is, like, we lost one of the best competitors in the playoffs in a Game 7 game, and we didn't get to see that. And yeah, that team lost. Oklahoma City won. Yada yada. That's great. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like, he's a champ, and that's good. But it's brought up the argument of our sports season's too long, our postseason's too long. Yada yada yada. And I gotta say, I can't believe it, but I find myself amped up yet again by capitalism. I think sports seasons are too long. I understand the only reason that there's a 162 baseball season, it is not to find the winner. It is to pad the owner's pockets in both TV revenue and live game revenue. If they really gave a shit about the product on the field, basketball would be down to like 62, baseball would be down to like 122. There's absolutely no reason to play 162 games of baseball just to get to the postseason. All you're doing is breaking down bodies and extending things, and it's horse shit. I hate it, and it's got me amped up. What are your thoughts on that, Dano?
I would say 146, 152. I don't think they would go down to 122. Yeah, I think if you ask any athlete in the league, they'll say that. The anonymous players poll came out sometime this week. The majority of them said, like, they kind of wanted to go to that MILB framing where every Monday is off. That would make it around that 152 number. It's never going to happen. One player said the season was too short.
Trey Turner?
Who knows?
Oh, okay.
Anonymous.
Of course he was anonymous. Put your name.
No, though, it's an anonymous players poll.
You're an anonymous players poll.
I am.
Anything have you amped up, Danny?
Yeah. Do you know what has me amped up, Alex? Bringing bits back that we killed. And I've been saying it for the last couple of weeks now. But in honor of your birthday, I would like to bring back something for you. And I would like to bring back Media Stables.
Ooh, love it.
Because it's old news, and we're good at old news. But since John Boy just brought it up, I know you have a thing to say about this. So, Alex, for your birthday, Media Stables, John Boy's breakdown of the Cedar Cliff North Penn Balk.
So I did not watch it. I knew I should watch it. I knew I had to watch the John Boy breakdown. I watched.
He didn't really break it down. He just said
explained what was happening.
Yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah. I watched it. It was a legit bulk. I understand that people in Philly are upset and they're crying shenanigans because a lot of them eat a lot of MAGA tacos. But here's the thing. I don't know. You load the bases.
The fact that you related it to high school baseball, I'm very impressed.
Thank you. Thank you. The fact of the matter is, you can't load the bases and you can't twitch your leg. That's the name of the game. And while your North Penn did not win the state championship this time, they have several times. That's great. Good for you. My daughters will eventually go to Cedar Cliff High School. So allow me, as a Philadelphia sports podcaster, if that means anything, to celebrate and cheer on and say congratulations to the Cedar Cliff Colts for winning the PIAA state championship for baseball this year for the first time in program history. Round of applause. Way to go, gentlemen. You did what you had to do to win the game. It doesn't have to always be pretty, but you play to win the game, as Jim Mora said, and you did a great job. Jim Mora, also a famous Colt. You guys know what you're doing. You play to win the game was Herm Edwards. That was with the Jets. Damn it. Jim Mora was playoffs, but you won the playoffs, so that's good too.
Yeah, there was some other on the like that 2008, 2009 Colts team that was from that high school as well. The Indianapolis Colts, and I forget who it was.
Fascinating. I love the
I name is escaping me, nor do I care. Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah. Is he even a Colt?
I don't know, but he was a tight end, and he somewhere maybe Cumberland Valley. I don't remember where Cumberland.
He did go to CV. Do you know what? I might be confusing some CV.
You were thinking, yeah, no. Okay,
I am all right. Anyways, sure. Doesn't matter. That's why we do talk top 5 summer songs that are nobody's top 5 but ours. You're right. Congrats to them. Yeah, congrats to them. So John Boyd did end it by saying, like, yeah, this is a crappy way to lose the state championship. It was bases loaded, no outs. It's happening anyways.
Yep. It really was at that point. Unless Alec Bohm was coming up to the plate, they were getting a run.
Whoa, there it was.
Shots fired, and deservedly so. Danny, that brings us to our last segment of the night. It's fair or foul / I need a ruling. I want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say, if I go to a Phillies game at Xfinity Live, can I say I was there for that game? Does that count? Is that close enough in proximity to the ballpark and with enough TVs that make you feel like you're there? Does it can I say I was there?
I don't know. It's really tough. So
it is.
You are getting the energy and feel of the stadium. You can pop outside of the parking lot and hear what is going on in the stadium. I think you were not in the hate to borrow a term from Chicago, but you're not in the friendly confines. So I don't think I think you can ambiguously say it, and then if you get some pushback, you eventually have to come clean. Like, I was across the street, but. There is a communal vibe there. There is, in a sense, it's not watching it from your house, but it's also not being there.
It's a weird combo because thank you for saying that, because I have been struggling with the fact that for a couple of years now, I've been living on this lie where like I don't really correct people when they say like, oh, you were at Game 7 of the Diamondback series, right? And I'm like, yeah, I was there in Philly.
Yeah, you say I was down there.
I was there. I was down at the ballpark.
You would have,
but I was there.
If they won that game, you would have merged with the people that were inside that stadium and marched down Broad Street. Right?
I think absolutely ready to. God, I wanted to climb a pole.
I think that is what the spirit is. I think you can ambiguously say stuff like you were down there. If you get pushed back, I think you have to come clean. So it was after the Bedlam in the Bank home run. The High Hopes episode after that, where James notoriously or famously said that he wants that I was in the ballpark Bedlam at the Bank to be on his epitaph. I told Jack that on our show that I too would like that to be on my epitaph. That being said, right after he said that, he was like, that was 42,000 people in the ballpark. 250,000 people are going to say they were there. And that's 100% correct.
That is super true. And I like saying that I was at that Diamondbacks game to point out, like, I drove 2.5 hours or 2 hours to get there. I stayed up until like 10 o'clock at the game and then drove back home to Harrisburg until 12:30 in the morning and had an event the next day. Like I committed myself to going from Harrisburg to Philly and back in one night. So I feel like I earned that loss on my soul. Like I get to feel that one a little extra, I think. What do you think?
I think so too. I also told you all day not to come.
You did. You did. I didn't know if you were going to use your tickets or not. And one way or another, I was going to be in Philadelphia for the game. And I have no regrets whatsoever.
Yeah, that was a topsy-turvy day.
Sure was. All right. That brings us to the final segment, folks. Danny,
second final segment.
That's true. The true final segment of final segments. Danny, love it or hate it. The spectacle of birthdays. As a sideline observer to birthdays this week, how do you feel about birthdays just in general as you get older?
I like them. I think that it is something to celebrate. I like my birthday. Like Kim's not a huge birthday person, and I'm the one who has to like kind of get her up for it. I'm like, this is something special. Like, love you, babe. It's your birthday. Like, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for mine. Like, I don't want to do much. I'm not one of those birthday month or birthday week people. But on my birthday, I want to make sure that I'm not heating up a lean cuisine in my microwave or something like that. I do like them. I do think they're fun. I know you are more of a social media well-wisher than I am. That kind of stuff I can absolutely do without. I don't want to be a curmudgeon here and be like, birthdays and wishing people happy birthdays. What's wrong with you people? Because I don't ultimately feel that way. I think they are something to be celebrated. But also, like, what's wrong with you people?
Stop. I loved feeling the love. I loved hearing from people I haven't heard from in forever. Like every year, a couple of new folks wish you a happy birthday. I'm like, shit, you've been paying attention. That's fantastic. That's super cool. So I don't know. I think it's fun. But as far as like needing to be the center of attention, I think I've kind of outgrown that over time. And like yesterday for my birthday, we just stayed home and it was absolutely the best thing in the world. I took like 3 different naps. I watched 2 movies. Like I hung out with Tay and just like chilled. It was magical. And that's what I want for my birthday. I want nothing, no expectations, no one wanting anything from me, no obligation to go anywhere, just to sit on my fat ass and just enjoy a day of nothing planned. And that's my kind of birthday spectacle at 38. End.
Yeah, you do you, man. It's your birthday. Enjoy it.
I'll cry if I want to.
It. That's right, man. So birthdays, love them. Come on, people. Have some joy in your life. Love birthdays. Alex, this was fun. We'll do better next week, I promise. And everybody knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant.